Are you a diver and you maybe even take photos or videos underwater? Then this live stream is for you. Because we believe that everyone who takes images underwater is already an ocean ambassador. And to make sure that you can do your job properly and inspire people out there to care for the ocean and eventually protect it, we collected your questions beforehand on social media. And we're going to ask those questions to creative professionals from the industry. And we are sending live from the world's largest water sports show here in Düsseldorf, the Boat Show, which is taking place from 18th to 26th of January. You're going to find us live in Hall 11 at the Pixel World workshop stage. Make sure you follow us on social media, on the Behind the Mask Facebook page and on the Behind the Mask YouTube channel. Turn on your notifications and most importantly, ask your questions down in the comments and maybe we will even be able to pick up your question and forward your question to our guest. And one more thing, by leaving us a comment, you already have a chance to win amazing prizes. Hello everyone, 11:15 and it's all about awards. That's why we dressed up in our most beautiful shirt, right Hamdan?
Yep, just for this.
Even freezing a little bit to honor Tim Ho here again on stage.
Is this your award-winning t-shirts?
Well, no, it's just the one we love the most.
No, it's very appropriate for this time. No, I mean nice flowers and lots of red on it because it's Chinese New Year.
Yes, it's Chinese New Year. Happy, what do you say, Lunar New Year?
恭喜发财.
恭喜发财.
Yeah.
Great. Are you celebrating that?
Yes, I am, but I will be doing a slightly delayed celebration this year.
Okay, you can start celebrating because we decorated for you.
Yeah, I saw. I feel so honored today because when I came in, I said, they thought of me.
Yeah, of course. We always think of you, especially after your last talk about compact cameras. It was really fascinating. So what is it about the whole award thing? I thought it's pretty easy. You go out there, you shoot something, it's going to look nice, and you think, might have a chance, do a little bit of, computer magic, and then just send it in? Or is there something more to it?
Well, very often you don't think about the awards and you go out and shoot and you just enjoy yourself. And like Flo told me earlier, so you suddenly find an amazing photo in your selection and you said, I should submit this for a competition. And that is one thing that people do, but it gets a little bit deeper when you go into the photo competitions, and there are times that you are actually shooting to join competitions. So this is not the random, I came across a nice photo and I saw something nice. This is the ones that you actually think that, okay, this is a 2020 and I think I would like to get some nice pictures. And on all my trips this year, I want a purpose. I want to have a mission and a target to shoot competition quality photos. So there are a couple of points that you should have in mind when you go shooting for competitions. The ones that you do your own trips and then you take pictures and you compile them until the end of the year where all the deadlines are open. That's one kind of photography competition shooting. And then the second one would be the one that you actually go for an event and there are 50 photographers who are all shooting for competition. These are the shootouts. It's a different mindset to a photo competition like this. Yeah, so competitions are interesting and many people say, no, Tim, I'm not the kind of guy who wants to join competitions and I don't do it. I'm not this kind of guy, but sometimes photo competitions are nice just to test where you are,
to see where you stand.
Yeah, you've been shooting for 5 years and you've got 50,000 photos in your hard disk. Then you want to know, how do I rate my photography? And if you ask your grandma and your sister, they will all say you are a hero. You should be on National Geographic. They will all tell you this. So it's nice to actually get one photo and throw it into a crowd and see how it fares. So a photo competition, not necessarily the kind of setup where you think I'm going to go and join this competition because I must win. I want to prove to the world how good I am. No. Sometimes it's just nice to test how you've progressed in the 5 years of shooting, and if I did my best photo into a crowd, will it get any attention? So
Is there different, how does it work? I mean, the general setup, there's probably different categories for different types of photos? Maybe is there even like different categories about what camera you use? Like, is there a specific compact camera category?
There are many different kinds of competitions first. You need to know which one you're joining.
Yeah.
You know, if you're joining one that is hosted by a camera brand, then this would be more nice ones to try, not so brutal. Then if you go for the ones that are on the shootout, these ones are the ones that you are really stressed out, sitting at night thinking of tomorrow's shot. And then they are the ones that you submit for the big ones, you know, the underwater photographer of the year, the nature photography of the year, the world shootout. These are the underwater art. They are the few big ones, yeah? So these are the ones that you go in and then you really, really get to test yourself amongst the pros of the industry today. So first of all, different kinds of competitions. Secondly, different kind of categories. You know, you've got the amateur or the beginner class, and then you've got the compact class, and then you've got the big DSLR.
How is it beginner defined? I mean,
well, there are some competitions where they say the beginner class, you are not allowed to use any lights. And this beginner class can even include iPhone, Samsungs, to the TG, to the ISIS, to the simple cameras, and they don't allow you to use even a torchlight. So they categorize this as a beginner class. But in another competition, beginner class would mean you've never been published, you use a small camera, you know, you've been shooting for less than 6 months. So this is one thing that's very important. I have to tell the camera, the rules and regulations are must read, because not one rule and regulation for a competition applies to all. Every competition have their own set guidelines, so you should know, oh, I've joined the beginner class category in this competition, what does that mean? And then I join in that competition, beginner class also, it will have a different meaning and different set guidelines based on the organizers.
But then how does the judging work? What's stopping me from joining one of these shootouts and then in post-edit photoshopping a great white shark eating a diver?
Actually, the judges aren't.
Legitimate question.
probably the regulations.
The
right?
judges aren't that bad.
Okay.
The judges usually are able to say that nonsense. No way. You know, that's one. And you cannot have won 7 competitions before, and in this competition I decide to join the beginner class. I mean, people will know, people will say that, hey, you know, this guy's already been published, he's doing workshops, he's won 3 competitions, what's he doing in this beginner class? So you cannot really hide from things like this.
Yeah? Okay. I think, so one of the points that I picked up is that basically joining competitions is something for everybody.
It can be a fun thing for everyone.
Okay.
So when you think of it as I'm going to go in and take part for the fun of it and see where I am, maybe I'll get some critique from the judges and some good feedback for joining as well, then I know where my photo stands. That's the guy who goes in with no stress at all. And then there's the guy who spends the whole year, he planned 4 trips and he must get good photos for this year. So when he goes on the holiday at night, you see him sitting at the table thinking, yeah. And then if you go for the shootout, these guys are serious, you know, they've got like 50 people around them and they all want to win this grand prize of 20,000 US dollars. Now these ones, when someone walks behind them, they shut the laptop.
Wow.
Then they open again. Nah, this is a different atmosphere, you know.
I've seen you on some of the judging panels.
Yes, I do judge often. I also like to take the mediator role. So lately, when people have said, can you judge the competition? I say, can I just mediate? Because I like to stay in the center and not give the points, but also be able to ask the judges their reasons why. Why did you score this a 9 out of 10? And why did you score it a 4 out of 10? Why? So I like to play this in this middleman role, because the people in the audience, they don't see the judging process and they don't comprehend what's in the judge's mind. So all they know is they've submitted a competition, there were 5,000 entries, these are the top 10 and he won. Why? So I like to sit in the middle and be able to paint a clearer picture as to this picture got second and not first because these judges believe that this was the problem, And if this had not been there, perhaps you would have been number one. I like to play this role.
yeah.
It's a more eye-opening.
I mean, this is basically what we do right now, no? You're sitting in the middle. You can tell everyone how to win amazing awards. So let's get started. What is the first thing that is the most important?
I wanted to start off by saying not everyone is Lauren Balesta or Greg LaCour or even Behind the Mask who go out to these really, really amazing places. They spend the time, they charter the boat, they go out on a mission and they really make these photos. These photos are like sharks, and then you've got mantas, and you've got so much action that when you go on a trip like this, you are going to produce some outstanding photos. But for the normal Joe, the normal guy like me who likes to do a little bit of Thailand, a little bit of Malaysia, a little bit of Philippines, I'm not going to get these kind of bait ball with birds coming down, with a humpback on its way up, with sharks coming in, with dolphins in the background. I'm not going to get photos like this. So these people are the guys who really can capture this unbelievable awesomeness of the ocean. But for anyone else who is just doing the regular diving and going to the Lembe and going to the Anilao and going to the Similans or going to Sipadan, there are also competitions that you can jump in and play the same game with them in your own way. Yeah? So you need to be able to know shooting a normal goby may not necessarily be a zero compared to an awesome shot in South Africa. I mean, it depends on what the judges are looking for. So I'm going to talk a bit more about the everybody can do kind of underwater photography competitions. And the first thing I have to say is, when you join a competition, you must know your judges. You must know your judges. These are 4 points that I will go through later. But before going into the 4 points, the judges, you must know what catches their eye. So if you look at the panel of judges in this competition, then you go and look. Florian likes this kind of pictures. Tim likes this kind of pictures. Greg likes these pictures, and Laurent likes these pictures. And you study the kind of pictures the judges like. And once you know, you try to be able to find one image that can satisfy. Because in this sense, you can score better. Yeah? Judging a competition, you may end up with 500 photos. To get through these 500 photos, no judging panel will spend 10 minutes per photo discussing it. You will take months. So in the first round, normally what goes through the mind of the judging panel is, can this be number 1, 2, or 3? So when they look at pictures, they just look at it and say, no, done, no, done, no, done. It's done, it's done. It takes only 2 to 3 seconds for them to say, this is not going to be a number 1, 2, or 3. Get rid of it. So you may have spent 2,000 euro flying from Germany all the way to Anilao. 2,000 euro begins. Then you're out there and you're shooting like crazy. The water is cold, the waves are big, the visibility is not good. You have a terrible dive master who cannot find you anything. Yeah? Your one strobe is not working. Your focus is not, you forgot to tune your viewfinder to match your eye. You're struggling so much, and through all these struggles, in 3 dives, you managed to get this nudie branch to perfection. You've invested so much of yourself, and you think at the end of the trip, wow, it was terrible condition. I didn't have a dive master. I found a nudie myself. I held one torch here. I put one torch here. I held the strobe here. One wasn't working. I couldn't really focus. And I got this photo. Look at it. It's perfect. You are attached to this photo. You believe that this is the greatest work of art you have done. And it goes into the judging panel and they said, no, that's it. It's gone. Because you are one photo in 500 or 5,000 that they must select. So all they really think is, if I as a judge said that this was the winner, would the world jump on me and said, stupid judge, no eyes, You know? No. So these judges, to a certain extent, must have enough confidence to be able to say, I was a judge on this competition, and that was the winner. And nobody questioned you and your ability to judge. So you going through an entirely bad day to get this perfect photo that you are attached to. It's gone in 2 seconds. And nobody cares. Nobody asks you, did you have a hard day? Was it bad visibility? Nobody is
That's
there.
sad.
You must remember that when you submit a picture for competition, you are not sitting beside the judge. Say, stop, 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 stop. Please go back, back, back. Come on, look at this. Look, did you see the parasite under the backside? You're not there. In 2 seconds, the picture is gone.
That's true.
Yeah. So when I say know your judges, this is the element where you try to catch. If there are 4 judges looking at 500 photos today, they said, no, no, yes, no, 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 no. Okay, good, keep it. That's it. They keep first. This is just first round. And they go through, and after they've gone through the 500 pictures, maybe they have 50. And when they have 50, they said, so we've seen them all now, yeah? Okay. Yes? No? No. No? No. No? No. And they cut it down to 20. Now they said, let's have a look at the raw. So these 20 raws go up, and then they said, my goodness, so different from the original. No, 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 no. And then they come down to 10. And from these 10, now they said, let's zoom into the eye. Let's zoom into the rhinopore. Let's take a little closer. Can you zoom on the left and see? Oh. Now, it's a very quick process. Nobody is going to sit down there for 1 week to choose a winner out of 500 photos. They're going to kill 300 or 400 in an hour. So you must be able to say that 4 judges, this guy likes behavior. So your shot is a behavior shot. You say, oh, I like it, keep. Then the next guy says, yeah, I like the colorful background, keep. This guy says, I like how it is like this, keep. So in that 2 seconds, you must be able to get 4 or 5 people to say, stop, okay, keep this. And that is the first challenge that you have, surviving the first round. The first round is the hardest. They only give you 2 or 3 seconds, and then your entire day of hard work and your 2,000 euros flying there, and then all the time you spend is gone. In 3 seconds. You got to catch them in 3 seconds, then we can talk. Yeah? Another thing that I want to say about competition before getting into the 4 rule is you try to get someone else to help you make the selection. You cannot sit down there and select the picture yourself because you are attached to the photo. Like I said, you had a hell of a day, difficult time getting this photo, and then when you show it to your colleague and your neighbor and your best friend, they said, what is it? You have a problem. Once you don't have that instant, wow, that's great, then no, this picture is not really a winner. So when you make your selection, you must be able to trust the people around you. The first reaction that people give you, it can be a clownfish versus flamboyant cuttlefish eating a shrimp, but the clownfish has a lot of mass appeal. So people will look at the clownfish and they will, oh wow, nice. We talk from there, So the first reaction, you have to trust people and their facial expression and what they say. Yeah? You don't try to justify, no, but you see there's a parasite. Don't you see there is something there? Come on, look closer. Nobody is going to look closer. Yeah? Okay. So rules and regulations are definitely must. Know your judges and the flavor of photography that they like. Make sure you get some additional people to sit around you when you're making your selection. Ask them, what do you think about that? They say, oh, that's an amazing photo. You have something to talk about. But when I say, this is already a hesitation that you should take immediately as maybe not such a strong photo. Yeah. Now let's get into the 4. I believe that the four elements when I coach competitions, yeah. Find a subject you can work with. That's number one. Number two, get your technical stuff correct. The eye is in focus. If there are two eyes, get the right eye in focus. If it's a nudie branch, get the rhino paw in focus. Lighting has to be nicely done. Right side, left side, back or front. This is the technical aspect. Then you need to be able to have the human. How does this photo show that the photographer is involved? There is an element of the photographer in the photo. I like to call this the art. Bring in your art. So you have the subject that you can work with. You have the technical aspect, the artistical aspect which shows the human, and the final is the moment. So if I were to go out and shoot for competition, first of all, I get to this stream and I try, and he's jumping and I move and he's moving and he's moving, he's moving, he's moving. I don't have the subject. This subject is already going to challenge me and he's not cooperative. Move on. Next. Until you find a subject that you can work with, then you make sure you stay there and you get your lighting in place. Everything is nice. The focus is correct. Shoot until you see the picture looks as perfect as it can be. Then you think, how do I bring myself into this photo? Okay, the artistic side, perhaps I would like to have some glitters in the background. It's very popular nowadays, or different colored lights. So maybe if I have two lights in the background, I'll take a blue one and a red one and I put it on the sand, shooting at the back. So when I shoot, I have a nice color from my lights, but maybe I have an artistical background. Or I can put a slate with glitters on it to get the bouquet balls in the background. So this is bringing myself into the photo. There's a concept that the human brings into the photo. Okay. Yeah? And then you stay and you shoot until the shrimp suddenly catches something to eat. Then you have the moment.
Yeah.
If you can score all four, the chances are usually you do very, very well in competitions. So you've got a good subject, you've done it technically correct, you've brought yourself into the photo, and you've caught a moment. When you have four of these, you have a really, really nice photo. Let's have a look at some of the pictures I brought around.
One question first. If it's two eyes and they're different distance to the camera, you focus on the right one?
You on the correct one.
Not the right one.
On the right one.
Like, okay.
On the correct. The one that's closer to you. Yeah, if it's two eyes, you get the one closer to you. If it's two rhino paws, you get the one closer to you. The correct eye, not the right eye.
Okay, so yeah, right eye.
Flo was wondering if there was some secret involved.
Not the left. Okay, so if we look at, I'd like to say thank you to the friends who actually brought out the photos, sent them to me. I've asked some friends to send me some winning photos that have won competitions. If you look at this photo, I believe this photo has got two elements. It's got the subject and it's got the technical. So it's got 2 out of 4, but it did win competition because the technical aspect of this is outstanding. So it's got it right, everything is symmetrically nice, the lighting is good, what should be sharp is sharp. But I believe this has got 2 elements. If we look at the next picture, this is a compact camera from Enrico from Germany. This has got 3 elements for me. Yeah. So it's got the subject that he can work with. He's got the technical aspect right. That means he's got the eyes sharp. Everything is nicely lit up. He's got the artistic element of this. He's got a tube, and then he's got some glitters in the background, maybe steel wool or something. So he's got 3. But this lacks a moment. Yeah.
Is this actually like in the wild?
Yes.
It's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, this is done on a compact camera, and people are really pushing it very hard. So when it comes to creative ideas, this really shows the human aspect. So in this photo, I believe the human aspect bears the heaviest weight. Subject, normal, not so special. Technical, well done, nothing outstanding. But then the human element, the art side of this now is really strong in this photograph. Yeah? Lacking a moment. Let's look at another photo. This is another compact camera photographer. This is Ipa from Malaysia. I believe there are two compact camera people in the market today who are really pushing it. Yeah?
Yeah.
One's from Malaysia and one's from Germany. They're really, really pushing the compact camera.
He's sitting right here. He's a little bit
Yeah. Yeah,
quiet, but
they're pushing it to such levels
Yeah.
where you are amazed at what these people are doing. So this again has got the subject, which is very nice. It's got the technical aspect where the eyes are sharp and it's nicely lit up. The artistical aspect is the lights here. She's got a blue light probably sitting on the sand coming from here, and a pink light sitting on the sand coming from here. Then she's probably got one white light coming up from the top. That's why the gobi is the right color. So this again has three. But if this guy, then you really have a four. And to get the four is amazing. When you say that I've got the subject, I've got the technical aspect done nice, I've got the artistic, the human element of it, and then the moment. When you have four, then you really have an outstanding photo. Yeah. Let's look at another
Stunning.
one.
ready, everyone?
Jeez.
Oh, wow.
This is another amazing photographer. This one's from Singapore. Also another award-winning photograph. She's got the subject. That means when she went in the water, she knew what she wanted to do, and she found the right subject to be able to execute this idea. Then she got the technical side of it correct,
Long
where
shutter.
she makes sure that the lighting is not burning, not overexposed, able to focus right. The art element of this photo is in the slow shutter.
Yeah,
Yeah?
amazing.
So I believe this is again a 3 out of 4. But this human element again, the art side of this is so strong that it actually helps with the lack of the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah? So this is won by the human aspect of it again. The idea.
I think it's very interesting that we're looking at a lot of photos that are shot on compact cameras, and a lot of people probably...
This one is not on compact.
Yeah, but the other ones.
Yeah.
And it's...
It's
I don't know.
crazy
I mean-
what you can do now.
It's hard to tell the difference nowadays. Yeah, you even have the full frame compact cameras. Sony's got one. It means you have a full frame sensor in the compact camera. Yeah.
But if you look back at those compact photos, we wouldn't have been able to have we wouldn't have recognized they were from compact cameras.
Yeah, but on the other... Yeah, but we don't know much about it anyway, so... But
That's why you're here.
Let's look
Chen.
at the next one. This is shot on the black water. This is shot by Yat Wai from Hong Kong. Again, he's got the subject. I believe the subject was actually the outer part. Then he got the technical aspect correct, where he got the focus right, the lighting, so it's not burning, it's transparent, yeah? And then he got his moment. When the shrimp suddenly appears there, then you've caught the moment. But again, the art aspect of this one is not there. Yeah, so it's again a 3 out of 4. But some pictures you just cannot put an art. You cannot shoot a whale shark and say, let's put some glitter behind. You cannot get this. So you just need to make do and make strong the 3 elements out of 4 that you have. So this is one really nice one. I mean, it's transparent. So the technical aspect of not burning it is very important. And then, poof, one shrimp pops up. You've got a moment, 3 out of 4. Another competition winner. Yeah? We'll look at some others.
this is really... I don't know.
Blackwater stuff. Huh?
Yeah. Huh?
This is amazing. I was on this dive when she was shooting this. The amazing part about this is this guy had one more fish in him.
What?
This guy caught a fish and that guy got him. There were 3 in a row. I was on this dive and the pictures that came out, there were 3 fish in fish in fish. But the first fish was not clear. And after a while, it got away, and this was the competition shot that she managed to get.
Wow.
Yeah?
Jeez.
You get
So-
all 4 eyes in focus.
So the technical aspect is very good. The moment is very good. The subject is very good. There is no art. Yeah? There is no art to this, but if you look, these are the 4 main keys that you try to look for. When you get 3 out of 4, you have a very strong chance. When you have 4 out of 4, you will be 1, 2, 3. Normally, this is based on what I experienced. If you tick the 4 boxes, you go for the winner announcement because you'll probably be called up. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Okay, let's look at some others.
Yeah, some others. No? Let's get some others. Let's get another one.
Again, subject is there. The technical aspect is very good. The art aspect, again, this is a bouquet in the foreground and background. So this person has put glitters in front and behind, and a little goby like this. Yeah. Missing again is the number 4, which is the moment. If this one had this, then you go for bigger competitions because you have a. But this still won. Still a beautiful photo. Just lacking that moment on the photo.
Yeah.
Maybe after this talk, some of my friends will unfriend me, you know.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, how dare you say this? Let's look at some others.
Don't you know how hard it was with all the viz and the broken buttons? Yeah. Yoo-hoo!
This is done on the Olympus TG. This is again by another Malaysian photographer. So TG cameras are not the ones that you are able to get too wildly creative with as far as camera capability is concerned. Yeah, camera chooses the aperture and shutter speed for you most of the time. But I believe this was just a simple shot of this nudie, and then when the moray appears from the back, then you have the moment.
Yeah.
So you've got the subject. This would be the subject. That's not the subject. Technical aspect, you're not burning the subject and you're getting it in focus. The art side was not in this photo, but the moment came in and nailed it for you.
I really hate to say it. We have 15 more minutes, not just that you know, because I see there's so many outstanding photos. I'm just afraid we're not getting through everything.
Okay, next. Subject is there. Technical aspect is very good. There is no moment to this, but then you have the art. Again, the slow shutter. We've seen this one with the squid earlier on. So you got 3 out of 4. Again, you have a very good chance of winning. Of course, 4x4 is actually ticking all the boxes. Let's move on.
Aye.
This is amazing, huh? When you look at this, you don't say that there's a lacking moment or you don't say that there's no art to this. But some of the photos that you take, I mean, just what it is already awesome enough to blow away all. Forget about the 4, it's an amazing photo. Yeah? Jeez. Okay, let's move on.
I want to look at it a little bit longer, but...
It's on your laptop, no?
Yeah, you know, but I mean... But it doesn't matter because there's another one coming up.
Oh my God.
Aye.
Okay, some have taken the art to extremes and they're really going for let's just do something extraordinary. Not everyone will accept, but then it will be something different. This is just a CD in the background. You know? You've seen this? You've seen these kind of shots before?
No.
You know, the old CD? You put it behind the back, put it behind the subject, and then it hit it with light. It just gives you this rainbow of colors.
Oh, there's, like, I mean, the post-production is just about contrast, a little bit of sharpness, or whatever.
That's the crazy part.
So you look at the raw, don't go through extreme
post-edit.
This is not digital art. This is a photograph.
Now, if I was to replicate this shot, you have the choke-in, is it? The choke-in filters. Have you seen this?
No.
The choke-in filters are filters that you can screw on to your housing. They've got and a clear center. Or you've got the one that the rings and then a clear center. So you can put this onto your housing so it can create this kind of effect. And this is the sharp part. And then you can put a CD behind the goby on and whack it. So this will not go into a typical photo competition. Not the typical ones. Some judges will say this is nonsense. But when you submit this in for the artistic competitions, then the artistic competitions, people said, wow, this person really thought and created a very interesting image. So the artistic competitions, these guys win. But if this goes into the typical fish ID type of competitions, then this will just immediately, on the first round, dead. Again from Enrico. So,
Wow.
some of the compact cameras, some of the big cameras, and some of the mirrorless cameras are able to do double exposure shots. Not a lot of people go play with them and explore with them these days, but the double exposure shot means you will shoot this picture based on the top part metering, and you will tune your camera to the top part, but still take half underwater. So this will be a pure black. This is a pure black. Then you keep it on your camera, and you can keep it there for a year. So next time when you find yourself a nice nudie branch, then you take the picture which is just the nudie branch and totally black on top.
How many shots do you have?
2.
Like, wait a second. You have one photo, and then you decide, okay, this is a good moment, and then you have one more exposure.
Yes.
And
This
you
is-
can't just like, oh, okay.
No. You can do it again and again. The first image will stay.
Ah, okay.
So you said, okay, this is the one I want to overlap. You can do this on a DSLR too.
Yeah.
So you've got the top part of the photo with the sunset and the bottom part pitch black. So you take your second picture where the bottom part has light and the top part is pitch black. And on the camera, you set these 2 photos together.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So this one again winning because you can see getting that top part is already work. Getting the bottom part is also work, but not only did this become work, but he's even got blue lights coming from the back, white light coming from the front. So this photo shows that the human has done a lot of work.
Yeah.
And for a judge, if you are taking part in a competition where they're doing artistic stuff, the judges will say this guy is thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah? So this is another amazing photo. This is one of my favorites from the past couple of years, yeah? I think it could have been done with an iPhone because it's so simple. But it showed the vision of the photographer. The photographer was just there and he was able to just capture this moment there, you know? His own shadow, shark in there. And this is again Enrico from Germany, you know, compact camera stuff. It's amazing photos. Okay, let's move on. Now, let's talk about the 4 out of 4. He found himself a nice subject. He got the lighting done well. Everything is nice. Eyes is focused. He put himself into the photo, the artistic shot. He put a white slate behind. So there's a white slate. This goby is very small. There's a white slate behind. So when he's firing it here, he's casting his own shadow on the white slate. Yeah? So he's got the 1, he's got the 2, he's got the 3, and he's got the 4.
Mouth open.
When you see a photo like this, people will not believe. People will say that this is not right. This cannot be true. But this is Malaysian, Kenji, and this is one of the pictures that I have high respect for. It's got all 4 elements in. It's got the subject, it's got the correct technique, he's got his idea of casting his own shadow of that goby. This is real. This is not 2 shots, 3 shots, Photoshop. This is 1 photo. And he got the moment. So this is a 4 out of 4. High respect for this shot.
Wow.
Next one, also a 4 out of 4.
Yeah, I think we need to see another one from Enrico, because we have another one.
Enrico, again, it's amazing.
Come on, guys. For Enrico.
This guy uses a compact camera and he's doing amazing work like this, no? Double exposure, caught his subject. The art is the double exposure. And he caught the moment. So he's got another 4 out of 4. Did this one win? Hasn't won yet. Okay, you haven't submitted enough. But this is an amazing photo. No?
It's stunning.
Okay, let's see. Do we have any more?
No, but we have questions.
Okay.
Yes.
I just circled through them a little bit. I think we need to see them a little bit more. Hamdan, go for it.
Two questions. The first one is my question. So you've shown us all these pictures, and while I've been listening to what you're saying, it sounds like you know some of these divers or you've been on the dives yourselves, and at the same time you haven't put any of your photos up. Is it a safe bet to say that some of these are your students who have taken these award-winning photos?
A lot of them are my friends who do ask me for advice every now and then. And the one thing that I can tell you about my advice is I don't hold back my punches. If I say, no, come on, this is nonsense, it's nonsense, I don't sugarcoat my feedback. If it's not good, I say, no, it's not good, just get rid of it. No? If I were you, I would delete it. You know, I have this really, really interesting one that stuck to my mind now. I had this one student who came and shot a very nice picture. And I said, oh, this is so nice, you know, I would print it up and put it in my toilet. It was a funny one. And then she reminds me, long time later, he says, you.
I think that's his humble way of saying he has some influence in these photos, but he doesn't want to say it. But
Well, I sometimes tell people, and throw them a challenge. You
Yeah.
know, sometimes they say, wouldn't it be nice if we had this photo but done like this, or if
Yeah.
this was happening? And then people go out and do it. Yeah. So I am sitting beside the photographer reviewing the photos often.
that's amazing.
And you do that on a regular basis also for people who want to learn about simple ways to get into compact photography,
Yes,
but also
yes.
if they're more
Yeah.
advanced in Anilao. You know, it's very hard. You know, I always have to kind of tease you to actually talk about what you're doing there. I think it's an
Exactly.
amazing thing,
Well,
but just in a few words.
In Anilao, in the Photo Academy, everybody is a part of this process, from the guides to my partners to me to the other people who are sitting there. Everybody is there to push up the level. And if any questions arise of how do I do this, if not me, my guides, my partners, or other guests, you will get the answer for sure. Yeah? So that is a place, like, in my mind, I thought we build a Shaolin temple, monastery, you know, where people, rich or poor, strip themselves down, put on the saffron, go in and try to learn photography. You know? Because there's so many masters and teachers sitting around, and none of them keep secrets. When you walk into Photo Academy, does not matter who you are, everyone is approachable and help each other.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things that macro needs. It needs these ambassadors
It's
that
not
are
only
showing these
macro, bro.
Photography.
things. Photography in general, yeah.
I know you have a special thing with macro, but I think we already converted you.
We're getting there.
Any more questions?
Yeah, so the other question that I saw that was very interesting is you briefly mentioned at the beginning, like, the whole situation during a competition is very stressful. You're
Yes.
worried about everything that might go wrong.
Okay.
But then you also have to be making certain calls while you're shooting. And one of the questions was, when do you decide that, okay, this subject is not working, I need to move on and see if I can shoot something else?
Well, if you've spent 10 minutes and you still haven't been able to get it to focus,
Yeah.
you know, or if it's crawling towards a hole, then just forget about it, no?
Yeah.
Just give up. He's not going to let you shoot him.
Yeah.
But one thing that I have told a lot of my students is, the minute you have contact, the minute any contact happens, that's the end of your mission, because it's not going to stop moving. So if you found a nudie branch on a rock that's sitting there nicely, be very careful not to contact. The minute you have contact, he starts to walk.
He's scared and he'll leave.
Yeah. If you have come in and you're shooting him from a close distance but not disturbing or harming him, he will stay.
Yeah.
But the minute your camera knock, that's it. He starts to walk. You know, so we try not to have any contact.
Yeah.
Good. Amazing.
Okay,
Yeah.
just a quick wrap up. Find a subject you can work with. Get your technical aspect good and correct. Bring yourself into the photo. That show the judges that you are involved. You had some part of creating this image, other than just getting your photography right, and then wait for the moment. When you can tick the 4 boxes, you have a pretty good chance. Huh?
Great. Tim, thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.
Man.
Happy New Year. Thank
Photos
you.
are crazy.
45 minutes just go by so quick. All right, we make a short break, 15 minutes. Then we have Nauticam on stage and talk about the latest camera housing and optics update with Ryan and Edward from Nauticam. And after that, we talk about filming and photo making in Antarctica together with Greg Lecoeur, the one and only, standing over there.
Awesome.
You should actually prepare the presentation. Are you done with it? You're done with it? Oh, he's waiting? Okay, good. Yeah, great. Great. See you in 15 minutes.